back. It's your host Craig, and joining me today is Ian.
Hey guys.
Hey, it's been a while since we've done a Ghost Recon video, and of course today's new update has brought us some new maps, a new game mode, and a new class, which is very, very interesting indeed. Of course, we are going to be kind of doing like a side-by-side commentary on the new class, the new maps, and the new game mode in general. So while me and Ian play. Alright, I'm just going to quickly launch up a drone. But
okay. I know where we are. This is in the opening area of the game. This is that Unidad base.
it is, isn't it?
Yep.
Wait, this is Fob Con. It's near Fob. No, it's not Fob Condor I'm thinking of. I'm thinking something else. But anyway, I've wasted a moment there. Oh, I have gunfire down below in the town.
Okay.
Looks like we might have some targets in there.
Yeah, this is my first time on this map.
Yeah, it's very disorienting at the moment.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll try to get used to that. So far, like, we took a moment in our time to actually go through the, You okay? You down?
No, but I almost dropped the arty guy through a window.
Oh,
sorry,
that's
carry on.
Yeah. As me and Ian were actually doing some, detailed research into this and whatnot, we compiled our own notes and stuff like that. Well, primarily Ian, I have to thank him a lot. He took a moment out of his day to actually compile all the information about this. And of course read it back to me, and we played a few games hoping to try Uplink, but I think Ian's the only one who has successfully gotten a chance to play Uplink, correct?
Yeah, that's one thing I find kind of strange is that first, and I guess this is the first of the feedback, and keep it brief, you don't get to select the game mode that you'd like to play now that there are two. You know, the classic Ghost Recon or Ghost War being what's now called Elimination.
Yeah.
With the Recon Tower. And the second one now being called, is it Uplink, is the name. You don't get to choose the mode that you're playing. It just throws you into a random match. And the weird thing is that Craig and I have been playing together for a while, and we're only getting elimination matches. We're not getting any of the new game modes, or game mode, which is strange, but that's one piece of initial feedback.
Yeah, which is strange. I can imagine maybe it's just not fully on the servers just yet, but it's kind of a concern for us because we kind of wanted to play a bit more. Of course, me and Ian did go into a custom game with a few others and tried out Uplink. And Uplink, in its similarities to Elimination, is very high, in my opinion.
Agreed. Agreed. It's essentially... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, but essentially, like we're probably gonna agree on this actually, is the fact that the only difference between Elimination and Uplink is the timer for the Intel jammer. Oh, the Intel tower.
Yeah, so the way Uplink works is instead of a Recon tower, you have, an Uplink tower. And the timer for that to become active is initially set at 200 seconds as opposed to whatever it is in the standard elimination, much shorter. And then hitting the Uplink tower, essentially it's a kill switch. So if you hit the Uplink tower, you win the match. Your opponents, I don't know if they die, but the match is over. So kind of what happens is it's a little bit less tactical, a little bit less strategic, certainly at least until people get used to the maps. Because really there's heavy incentive placed upon taking out the enemy team prior to that 200-second counter counting down. Because really, people push up towards the center of the map where that Uplink tower is, and once that Uplink tower becomes active, it's just a race to turn that thing on. And it turns it into a little bit more of a manic play style, especially at the beginning of the match. So we'll see if that changes as people become more familiar with the maps. But the trend we've been seeing lately with Ghost War is that tactics are kind of becoming a bit of an afterthought. All right, that guy's down.
I got a headshot on the tank. Yeah, he's the last one. Oh god, I was about to run off a cliff and use my parachute. But yeah, anyway, that's some actually very fair and honest. You know, it wasn't biased. It wasn't too positive, but yeah, you know, it's a kind of wait and see moment with that kind of feedback. I'm kind of hoping that we will see some more improvement in game style, because a lot of it, I'm not going to be honest, a lot of the community has just, oh, I won't depend if they are the community or not, have mainly just been staying put in one area instead of actually actively seeking the enemy or splitting up or, you know, generally just doing tactical squad stuff like this game is built around, I can imagine. But no, it's just mainly they stick in one room or something like that, and they don't bother trying to help us out, I guess. That's my opinion only. I don't reflect on all members of the community, because we know ourselves. We play tactically. I know that's one moment to see like that, but like as a good team member, I am trying to keep everyone alive right now. We have a full team almost up, and of course our play style is that usually we have 2 men on Overwatch in Ghost
I'm
War.
still up.
Yeah, you're still up as our Overwatch, and as you can see here, 2 of my teammates have just mined the area, and then that's it. They're just staying in one place. That's literally one way to get yourself killed. Thankfully, anyway, the medic is pushing off to get some health. And we have gunfire coming in from the rear. Apologies, folks. It's kind of an on-the-ball kind of thing right now.
I marked that guy up. I don't have him. I'm just trying to suppress. I hit him. He's really, really hurting.
I got him down.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah, as you see there, like, I did that as a prime example. We stayed on the hill, because we know how to usually adapt quickly to pretty much maps. This is actually a decent map. I like it. It's a mix between, like, high ground, low ground, and a bit of urban in the middle, which is quite nice, and it's on a smaller scale, thankfully.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what it's like to pull it from the other side.
Yeah, but bringing up actually, I forgot to leave out a valid point about Uplink. Uplink seems like it should be a bigger, like, group game. 4 people is not enough for Uplink.
Yeah, well, I mean, so case in point about Uplink, if that match, or playing Uplink on this map, it would be a much shorter match. A much shorter match. It's just a race to that tower, especially where, you know, you've got high ground, low ground. If you're coming from the south like we just did, you're going to have to get at least half your team down low, and you're probably not going to want to have anybody up top, because there's no benefit in Uplink to providing Overwatch unless you're providing Overwatch on that Uplink tower and can pick people off as they go to activate that tower. You know, there's no last man standing, I'll make them come find me, I'll make them earn this kill. If they hit that tower, the match is over.
Yeah, we understand as that like a you know, as a kind of strategic thing, hold the tower before the enemy can take it, or, you know, attack and defend. But, you know, it's kind of
yeah, I don't understand it. It would make sense if it were that someone started at the tower, or started much closer to the tower, and you had, you know, for lack of a better term, it was tower defense, and you took turns doing that. But having it be this way, where it's just a mad dash, I mean, you know, this is where I am going to get a little critical. It's disheartening for me to see that the changes that Ubisoft is making to Ghost War have done more to remove tactics from the game than to, you know, really emphasize tactical gameplay. And that was one thing that differentiated this game. You know, it was a tactical shooter, and it was going to have an online element for a tactical shooter, a PvP tactical shooter, which really on consoles, there's a void there. And what's happened as this game has been updated is it's become less and less like a Ghost Recon game, and kind of just more and more like a lot of other games that are out there. Hopefully we see that trend reverse, but, you know, it's frustrating, at least for me, to see more of an emphasis on close quarters combat, more of an emphasis on rushed combat as opposed to, you know, thoughtful, deliberate combat. I can't believe I just missed that guy.
yeah.
I'm too busy being angry.
Well, you know,
Anyway, we just need to put it down.
like my personal opinion when it comes to reviewing or, you know, doing feedback on games is always to have a 50-50, which is fine, you know?
There's a guy in between us.
I
Yeah,
trying
I
to
mean,
find them now.
I got him.
Okay, good,
There's
good kill.
there are a few there are a few positives in this update. One of which, as you know, everybody knows I like to play is Ranger Ian.
Ranger Ian, yes.
The Ranger class has seen a few tweaks. Just there, you know, I took that enemy down with my PSG. The PSG has been bumped up in power a little bit, so it's a more effective close range weapon. And the Ranger also was granted a little bit of extra stamina, and by a little bit, I mean a whole lot more, 50% more stamina. So they're not quite the assassin, but it does help kind of get them into position. You know, the way Ubisoft explained it in the patch notes, you know, they are kind of being used by a lot of people as a secondary sniper, which is fair.
Well, you know, I think the more like accurate term would be the designated marksman. You have a sniper and then you have a designated
Sure.
marksman.
Right. So I mean that's good, and that's, you know, I like seeing that change. One change that I wasn't so thrilled to see has to do with the actual sniper. And what's happened there is the assault class have all, save for the assassin, have all been granted some extra HP, some extra hit points, and that is with the intention. Oh, I'm taking fire. I'm going to be down. I managed to get away. I gotta move into cover. I'm hurting. That was with the intention of having it be so that a sniper can't drop these folks, these assault guys, with one shot. And at the same time, the power on some of the sniper rifles has been decreased. So really, it runs the risk of turning the assault class into kind of an overpowered class. You know, if they wanted to just minimize the effect on assault, they didn't need to go ahead and also kind of nerf the sniper.
Yeah, yeah. In the sense of it, there was always like two sniper types, right? One for penetration, one for power, right? Weapons, sorry, not
That's
types.
correct,
Yeah. If a sniper that's been based on power should be able to, like, you know, if he gets the shot, you know, it all depends on skill when you're sniping in this game, which is really nice, you know, because I'm not a great sniper in this game. But I'm a, you know, a decent sniper in a different game, you know, because it doesn't rely too much on the skill. But
Okay,
for, like... Oh, good. Finally. He's been on that mountain for a while. But given this, actually, right now, how everything's going right now, when we first started leading up to the assault and stuff like that, and the jammer, like, you know, everyone moving around, showing around, we were doing some quite interesting squad tactics. We may not be able to hear our teammates, but they kind of got on what we were doing. I was suppressing down the tank and the enemy point man, I think, was the second man to go down. In which I've already started to suppress them again. Which was good, and now they're just holding up while the enemy, you know, like, they're giving a moment of reprise for the enemy to fall back, heal up, and...
That tank's hurting.
Yeah, he's hurting bad. I'm trying to get eyes on. I know where they are, so I'm gonna drop the... Well, anyway, sorry about that, folks. I had to keep concentration on because I'm trying to hunt down this tank. He is on very low health. And, you know, tactically, if I was him, I'd try to pull around, get behind our lines, and get to a first aid station. And right now, I'm out of view of our sniper, so, Ian, if I go down, I apologize.
No, the sniper's down.
I know if I go down. Like, you're our marksman. I forgot our marksman.
Yeah, I'm hitting the tower.
Alright, we have a tower. We have a jammer about to go up. I'll be able to spot the enemy nearby here. Holy shit, they're right behind me.
Scout has the that perk where you can't mark them. This is going to be a draw.
Currently, right now, we're on the heels of the tank. At least if we take one more down, that'll be, good for us.
Yeah. Oh. Anyone? Oh,
and
look
he's
at
down.
That.
And he's down.
Left.
2 seconds,
Nice
I took him
job.
down. See, there we go. Right now, like, even while we've been talking to each other, we kind of built up, like, a battle plan in our head. Oh, these guys are moving left, and these guys are falling back. These guys are constantly falling back, trying to use the tree cover, save for time, but we moved in and assaulted them. So we had a good teamwork right there, which most of them have now left. Not our team, but the enemy team, which is not uncommon.
Yeah.
And plus, actually, to add in for this is where I kind of enjoy this fact, is the fact that if you leave the game early, you get a penalty now. Is that correct?
That's correct. I don't think it's an instantaneous penalty, but I think if they see a pattern of match quitting, and that means, once you're inside a match, even between rounds, I believe eventually it says you'll be warned beforehand that they've noticed you're leaving matches. Not 100% sure how that's going to work, but yes, there is finally going to be a penalty for leaving matches. The only, which is a good thing on the whole. The only thing I'd like to see, and here's another new map, and actually here we have Uplink.
We have Uplink now. We're actually going to be doing Uplink now. We kind of give your idea what we had with the problem with this, which mainly was the 200 seconds, and no offense to anyone who works on the dev team and on Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's just team deathmatch with a longer timer.
Yeah. Just to finish real quick, the problem I have with the matchmaking penalty is you can still get put into spectator mode. I really think that if you're going to give that penalty, it should be an instant penalty, or you can't do it more than twice. I understand sometimes people have an emergency, make it a quick penalty, but then refresh the match, because when you're throwing folks, for instance, when I was playing yesterday, more than once I would get thrown into a match as a spectator that was on round 3. And I just had to watch the match play itself out, knowing there's a good chance I'm going to take a loss. And I'm not someone who's concerned about statistics. However, statistics do play into the formula which goes into matchmaking. So, you get thrown into a match, it's round 3, it's tied 1-1. Or even if it's round 2 and your team's down 0-1, you could get a loss out of that. And you just have to sit there and watch it and then wait for the matchmaking process to begin again. That can be a little frustrating. So, okay, here we go, and you can see 193 seconds now. This is where the access point, which is what they call the uplink tower. And I've never been on this map.
It's a new experience. Like, earlier on when we were trying to do this, we didn't get any of the maps, and now we're getting all the maps, now even getting uplink now, which is great. And, of course, you get to see us live doing it, well, recorded anyway, doing this. But regarding this, I kind of like the look of this map. It's quite open. There's not a lot of brush around, but there's a lot of objects in the way. And as you see there, we usually on our task force anyway, we always split up into 2 groups. Right now, I'm going to take cover and deal with that jamming device, so they don't have that cover anymore.
Yep.
Oh Christ, nope, I couldn't. I flew too close into it. My usual plan is to get high enough to get the mortar rounds on it.
Yeah, our tech has just countered it.
Yeah, that's good. Alright, I'm moving in now across the street.
I've got their tech marked up. If anyone's got a shot on them. Got a man down.
Yeah, I see.
I don't see anybody. Do we come in from the north or south? That's one thing that's happening to me. My map is bugged out. I don't have a map. I haven't been able to use it at all today. Alright, we're going to want to start pushing the uplink point because
we don't want to give we do not want to give the chance of our enemies.
I've got one back here.
Yeah, I saw one guy moving. It's yeah.
He's
nice
down.
shot.
He's down. I'm
Nice
gonna
shot.
relocate.
All right, looks like they're near our division, our diversion stuff,
No,
which is
I've
not
got
good.
I've got another one back by that silo.
All right, copy that. I'm too far. All right, I'm marked. I'm marked. Pushing back.
Oh, come on. He's got not much health left. All right, we've got about a minute for the access point to come up.
Copy that. I'm gonna move up right now. Actually, to add in another bit taste of flavor right now, I'm really. Oh, sorry. Go on. Go on.
Go ahead. No, I'm rushing that point, man. I'm moving up roughly to where I thought. Oh, they've got an assassin. Well
yeah,
done.
he took me out with.
Yeah.
He got me with a mine, but I got him down. So there's only literally one guy left, I think.
Nope,
There we go.
Nope. Yep. I'm just taking down.
We got it. Actually, one thing I have to say, big props from them finally doing, is the fact that we now actually have a different choice of scopes on most of our weapons and access to more
Yes.
pistols depending on which class you use, which is fantastic.
Another big positive. Yeah,
Another big
especially
positive.
the scopes. Especially the scopes. That's huge. That's something that I know a lot of people have been asking for. I particularly have been asking for that. And one great change on a class that I don't particularly use a lot, but the Enforcer now has been given the EXPS D33 combo scope, which is, to me, I mean, that's a super useful scope for the Enforcer class. So I was happy to see that. That was a positive change.
That was a very good change. I enjoyed that quite a lot. For me, especially since I'm always an arty guy, I love being the artillery guy. Kind of brings up my next point about a bit of feedback. I know this is well known throughout the community and stuff like that. Was the whole thermal vision dilemma. In my personal opinion, as a tactical player of this game as well, I'm not doing so much tactical, but I am moving with the group at least and not spreading out too thin and getting wiped out by a lot of people. Unfortunately, I got wiped out by the assassin near the end, but I got him before he killed me. Is the fact that thermal. I can understand why people were being upset with thermal. Like, it's not as overpowered as everyone made it out to be, because you don't know if someone's actually using thermal. But if your entire thing is that you're playing an assault class or a support class, like I can imagine an assault class, like a point man would probably be mid front line right there, moving up as a team. But if your only job is to hide and camp, that was kind of an anti-camping tool, which was fantastic. So you really have to think about where you have to hide. Like, do you give up your line of sight to get into cover to make sure you're not found, or do you basically just, up to the devs? They wanted to balance things out their way. This is their game, of course, but it's just our feedback on the situation. Is the fact that we, it's kind of hard to find the the Wookiees hiding in the field now. But that adds to the intense the moments is where you see if they fire at you, you'll be able to see where they fired from. But if they move quick enough anyway, I've noticed this a lot, there's a slight delay, which is good in my opinion, because you don't see exactly where they're firing or where they move. Is where you'll see one point being fired and then they're already at the 2 or 3 meters away firing again, which is kind of interesting. I'm liking this spread we have right now. The diversionist is pushing up quite nicely. He's pushing up to where we need to put the
I'm continuing to push up. I'm going to see if I can catch them on their approach.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm out of the map. Oh,
pull back.
Yep, yeah, I did. Now I'm out in the open now. Still getting used to this map.
It brings my next point here. You've seen me use it a few times on live streams and whatnot, and I thought about it a lot before doing this video, is the fact that we have one thing that everyone called overpowered being now in the sky on a drone. Like, if anything, it would have been easier to just put thermals on binoculars, because that gives you a tunnel vision then.
Yeah, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. My take on the thermal fiasco, whatever you want to call it, is much harsher. I think It's a shame that they removed thermals. I get it. Take it away from the snipers. I'm gonna be down. I'm down. Take it away from the snipers. We got a guy. He's on my body and he's pushing. We've got two pushing from their spawn point towards ours, and they're right at the edge of the map. They've got to be getting thrown off the map.
There's a jammer in the area. They've gotten wise.
Yeah, one of them's a jammer. Yeah. Right in front of you, Craig. Right in front. Good kill. Push up.
You see there, I like about this, actually, about the jammer right now, is that the fact that you can hear him.
He's going off the map. He's going off the map.
I'm down. Desertion. I apologize about that, but with the jammer like that, it's kind of a
it's
hard
tough.
thing to do. It's tough. But it's good. You know, it keeps you on your toes, basically.
Yeah, we're going to have to push. Hopefully our second guy here is starting to push the tower, because the tower's going to be up in 20 seconds. You guys got to move. You guys got to move.
I know. I'm just securing. I thought it was the jammer beeping, but it's actually the corner of the map beeping. But, you know, doing some tactical planting of an IED for the enemy.
Yeah, you guys got to really move. The access point's available.
I'm back at the defending point. I see the enemy.
Yeah, I'm just
oh Christ! The point. Second enemy.
That's a ranger. I'm pushing towards him. Screw it, I'm pushing towards the access point.
See, I didn't do too well. I got overconfident with taking down the guy furthest away. My MP5 does not have the greatest range, unfortunately, but it does have great accuracy, which is good.
Oh, come on. What's this other guy? What's the point man doing? He's got
point man's down.
All right, where's their last?
Oh, that was you. You got the last.
Yeah, I thought they had another one up.
And that was pretty intense, actually. I'm liking this map. It really makes you think what you have to do. I have to play it on this map more. I think I found my new favorite map. But yeah. I went positive in near the end, which is good. Unfortunately for me, due to my Wi-Fi and stuff like that, I am not that high up. So my apologies about that. I would have been like prestige at this point. A lot of them are leaving now. We're having way too much of a good streak. But regarding this now, like the whole thermal fiasco, like putting on the drone is okay in certain maps, like because you have too much shrubbery and greenery and there's a lot of wildlife in the area, so it's kind of hard to spot that. But during a daytime map where they have to go in the open, like deforestation, that kind of brings down the tactical vibe to it and makes it more like, oh, we know where they are now, we'll just rush them. But on binos, it would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah, the thing that I saw, again, if drones were so, if thermals were so overpowered, you don't put them on a drone. You know, if the whole thing was that people didn't like getting spotted, you know, oh, I'm in a ghillie suit, no, I'm in a bush, you know, I'm trying to snipe from back here, and it's not fair that even though I'm, you know, covered, I can still be spotted by a thermal. I don't understand how balancing that, you know, the solution to balance that is to put thermal in the sky, where it can cover much more of the map and makes you that much more visible. I agree with you, Craig. I think that, you know, throwing it on binoculars would be a decent compromise. So I was very disappointed to see the way that the thermal vision was handled. I thought just leave it alone.
Yeah.
You know,
when it comes to us playing as a group, we have our favorite classes and we know what to select, and we use them as a team because we have our own tactics and style of playing. And you know, it's just, you know, as this is, we're looking at the new maps and just doing a small review of it, feedback and stuff like that, and talking about some of our concerns. Like, I do have some major concerns. Like, I want to know where the devs are going with this. You know, I can imagine from their ideas that they're trying to, like, oh, if they get you too used to this game right now, we have to up the notch a bit. Maybe they're making it a bit more difficult, so you have to learn these new skills until there's an overall, like, we want this game to be like this now. Which I'm able to give the benefit of the doubt, of course. Like, you know, they did make a great game. That's probably one of my favorite games of 2017. And
Yeah, same. I'm just, I think I'm kind of, I'll hold back a little bit. You know, I've also been very frustrated with this game. My big takeaway from the whole Ghost War, and you know, disregarding the whole, it was late. You know, it came when it came. That's fine. It would have been nice if it came sooner. It would have been great if it was there on launch. I think it would have done better for the game. But it came when it came. And just looking at Ghost War, what's disappointed me was were the facts that the beta was a standalone, which meant that, you know, on a positive side from a marketing standpoint, you know, you're going to get more players to experience it, and hey, maybe some of them would like to buy it. And the second thing is the first weekend that the mode launched was a free weekend across all platforms. What happened, though, was that the developers took feedback during these times. They took feedback from the community when a huge part of the current install base didn't own the game. These weren't their core customers. And I find that strange they would be soliciting feedback from a group that they knew weren't their core customers, especially when you saw that the feedback was directed towards making this game a little bit more like some other games that are already on the market. You know, the thing that Ghost Recon was, or Ghost War specifically, is an online PvP tactical shooter. You know, people can complain about the format. Should it be more players? Should the maps be bigger? You know, that's all up for debate. But it was a game that was designed to be tactical, a little bit slower, and a little bit more methodical. And with the changes that they've made, both with this uplink, going back to the thermal goggles, you know, now overpowering a little bit the assault class, they're kind of turning this game into a variant of other games that already exist.
yes,
You know, and I get it. You know, some people want the games, some people want the rounds to be a little bit more action-packed, and that's okay. But you're kind of punished now for playing overly tactically. You know, you're seeing a lot more folks select the assault class, a lot more folks just rushing in, and, you know, the rounds are shorter rather than longer. And, you know, that's disappointing, at least to me.
yeah, you know, it's all feedback at the end of the day. We're just the, you know, members of the community that want to voice out our opinion, of course. But yeah, I can agree with that fully. Like with certain modes like this and PvP and stuff like that, I know they wanted to really reflect the you know, the cooperative, like 4-man team versus a 4-man team. But with
Right,
certain
you're
modes,
right on you, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fine, it's fine. Ah, Christ, I thought I could get him. I noticed them at the last minute. I hate those bloody ghillie suits, but I can't deny them for their tactical use.
Here's
anyway.
how tactical this is. I've been standing in the tower above you the whole time. I'm standing.
You have
marking
been.
folks up. Oh, shooting at me now.
Oh, they're shooting at you now.
Someone took him down.
Your tactical
Yeah, someone
standing
took
has
him
not been appreciated.
Yeah, tactical standing.
But anyway, as I can actually talk about this more freely
Coincidentally,
now.
the guy who just saved me was named Tac 50. And he
No,
took
thank you,
someone
Tac 50.
tactically down
Good man.
Yeah, thank you, Tac 50.
Yeah. Regarding this right now, like the whole idea is this. You know, people. I can't imagine they're trying to say, "Oh, we want people to take more risks in combat." I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You know, like, you know, no thermal, interesting, but that kind of counteracts that a lot of people are now just going to ghillie up and hide. And then you put the thermal on the biggest, you know, on the biggest thing in the sky, which is the eye in the sky, you know, as it's called in the scout class, the drone. Which at certain cases you will have a hard time spotting enemies from above.
Push. We gotta push. We're gonna lose.
I'm down. We were supposed to be able to lose
Yeah.
at one point.
Yeah. Well, not anymore. We lost.
Yeah, we lost. We lost our first round. Can't complain with that.
Yep. But you know, overall, you know, there's some positives, there's some negatives. I think, just for my part, overall, I would say I'm happy that, you know, the game is still receiving attention, receiving updates. You know, there are apparently 5 more updates coming through the beginning of next year. At the same time, I have kind of an overarching concern for the direction of the game.
Yeah.
I think it's no big secret that Ubisoft has esport aspirations for this game, and that's only going to move this further away from tactics and more into, Twitch shooting, like sort of the Rainbow Six, Counter-Strike, territory, which, turns me off personally. I know a lot of folks like that. To which I'd say, those games are out there, and if that's the type of game you like to play, go play those games. It's disappointing to me to get the sense that, instead of Ubisoft asking players to adapt their play style to this specific game, Ubisoft is changing the game to fit the play styles. So that's pretty much where I can leave it. I obviously still play the game, still enjoy playing the game, and I would hope that some of these additional updates maybe swing it back around, so you have the ability, you have the balance that, yeah, sure, this uplink is going to be a more hectic, fast-paced play style, but update 3 brings a larger map with 6-on-6 or 8-on-8, and or I know a lot of people are really clamoring for a battle royale on a big map. Maybe that'll come as well. Everybody seems to be doing that lately.
Yeah.
So overall, I guess I'm cautiously pessimistic on the direction of Ghost War. It's still fun, but it's kind of moving away from the game as I like to play it. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. You see, right now, like as you said, we don't play over. We have a very lax tactic system, and we have a very relaxed voice procedure and stuff like that. That's how we play. We play very relaxed, and usually our relaxed tactical stuff usually works like 9 times out of 10, depending on what kind of matches we have and stuff like that. And then we have a lot of like hardcore players on this as well, which is good. And as you can see here, I'm not rushing everything. Like, I'm keeping an eye out for everything right now in my area. I'm near TAC 50 at the moment, by the way. And I'm just pushing through the camp to find this jammer, which is an important thing because he is the newest class, and he is... Right now, I wasn't too fond of him right now. But as of now, I'm quite impressed with how he's organizing himself right now as the man that's going to drive me up the wall. Because there's, I have to find them, and I've just found them.
No one's using the tower. All right, I'm going to.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's another thing I really have to get used to now. I'm used to playing HUD when I play PvP and stuff like that. Is the fact that when you aim down the sights, which I like actually, which it kind of adds in a bit of more intense, like an intense moment, is the fact that you can't see your teammate's name anymore, which helps.
Right.
You really have to think about who you're shooting now. Like, because I thought I met up with
friendly fire by default. Friendly fire is still off by default. However, you're gonna give yourself away. I'm gonna check this pillbox.
That'd be a good idea. I'm pushing up a bit more to see if he's
Pillbox is clear.
I'm taking fire from the my 6, I think. Yeah.
Yep. Oh gosh, he just got followed straight out. He's right on you. He's right on you.
I'm pushing back out.
Yeah, push out. I'm trying to provide some cover from here. They've also got a sniper up there. That sniper's suppressed. Damn, I can't hit him.
I got a nice shot on him. I might have gotten
pushed across. Cover me. I'm pushing to the access point.
All right,
I'll hop
go.
down if I need to. Oh, they're right there. They're right in front of it. Oh man, he got me. He's got very low health. Both popped up at the same time. His gun was just more powerful than mine. He's right there. And careful, you do have a sniper up in the 2-story. It looks like he might have jumped down into the, yeah, he's down there. Yeah, flushed him, he flushed him. You can try to bring me up. Oh, you got one coming up, back up. He's coming back up. Yeah, he threw a grenade up.
Tense moments for RTC while trying to give feedback.
Yeah, I'm pushing into this.
Oh shit, I'm out of ammo, I'm out of ammo. Oh, I'm taking fire from behind.
Okay.
I got greedy. I tried to get that guy out with my pistol, but you know, you have a general idea where they are now.
How is he not down?
He's down now.
How is that guy not down? Man, I put like 10 shots into that guy. Oh.
Alright, you see, it got very hectic there. We're like, trying to do a feedback and playing tactically at the same time is hectic as shit.
It is. Alright, I think we can probably wrap it there.
We can wrap it there with defeat. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Well, all overall, I can say right now is that I think scale, like, you know, rate this update out of 1 out of 10. I'd probably give it a healthy 7. Just for its good points that I liked. You know, like, aiming down the sights now removes your ally's name and stuff like that. That's really cool. I love that. And also, I'll just quiz as a group before we do the ending. Yeah, I'll abandon this right now. Just doing it overall is fantastic. Like, I like this new jammer, or what's his official title? Is it the jammer?
The disruptor.
The disruptor. The disruptor is quite a genius one if you use it correctly. That guy there was doing it very well. He was moving from position to position, not exposing himself to us, and always keeping us on our toes looking for him. As you can tell, I have a terrible shot with the MP5. It's quite late at night here and I'm doing this video. I'm knackered. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We really want to hope that the we want to see how the development comes. We're always going to keep you up to date on this. Like, the patch notes did add in a lot of nice and interesting stuff. I'll leave you a link down in the description down below so you can have a look at it yourselves. But yeah, that's just voicing our concern. Like, we don't want to see this like really good tactical shooter turn into an esports game or the next Rainbow Six, because this is not Rainbow Six in our opinion. This is Ghost Recon. This is one of the classic, you know, military shooters that we've all played throughout our life. I think you've played the first one, haven't you, Ian?
Yeah, I've played just about every one of the Ghost Recon.
You see, I didn't get a chance to play the first one. I played the second one, and then all the way up.
Yeah, my favorite, actually. And I like Wildlands a lot. I like the open world, but I still have a real soft spot for the original Ghost Recon.
Yeah. I can understand that the development crew are actually trying to make it more accessible and more interesting for players outside of this community to join in, but we kind of hope that they stick to more of the core examples, like, you know, like, I believe in taking risks. Like, we don't take a lot of risks when we're engaging with enemies. We have skirmishers for that. Like, we have Sapper Nick, or also known as Basic Nick, who will usually be our skirmisher protecting our left flank. Right flank is protected usually by our automatic rifleman. And then we have the Ranger, we have Ranger Ian, and then myself providing support in the rear. And then if we have to move up, we will move up. It's not we just stay in one place. We move up with the battlefield as we push them back. Alright, but anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this. We'll see you next time on RTC. See you guys. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.